We want to cycle around Sicily and start in Catania. Visit the Cava Grande, continue via Ragusa, then Agrigento and Trapani. We are on Favignana for 2 days and take a detour to Capo San Vito. From there, we continue via Palermo and Cefalu to Messina. We return via Taormina to Catania. After a little over 2 hours of flight, we land in Catania. In the evening, we look at the area around the cathedral square. Now we're looking around the city, booking a tour to Mount Etna and want to go up to the Etna tomorrow. Then, the day after tomorrow, we continue by bike towards Syracuse. No sooner said than done. On the way to the cathedral, we booked the tour to Mount Etna, then up to the tower of the cathedral and into the cathedral. Throughout the day, we explore Catania, its churches, and what else there is worth seeing. In the afternoon, we go to the harbor and enjoy the sunset there. We start the next day early and go to the market and the fish market before our Etna tour. Before the tour starts, we take another look at Etna from below. Then the minibus takes us to the Valle station of the cable car at around 2,000 meters above sea level. To get to the summit, we would have to take the cable car from here, then drive an off-road vehicle or hike for a bit. Since we only have about 2.5 hours and the visibility gets worse higher up, we decide to stay at this altitude and take a hike around 2 smaller side craters. It's pretty full, but of course our sticker shouldn't be missing here. Then the journey goes back down to Catania. During a short break, we take a look at this church. We end this eventful day with a delicious dinner. The next day we leave Catania heading south and reach Augusta. Our hotel is right here on this rocky coast. This sight can make you swoon. This is exactly the right place for the first flight with our new drone. In the evening, we look back at Mount Etna. From Augusta, we first drive past a refinery on a highway with little traffic. But then we come to this wonderful cycle path just before Syracuse. This was probably once a railway line. We come to Syracuse just in time for lunch. Before we continue to Avola, we take a quick look at the Cathedral of Syracuse. We stay 2 nights in Avola and go on a day trip on bikes without luggage up to the entrance of Cava Grande. From the upper edge of this canyon, we descend into the gorge on foot, When we reached the bottom, we first took a refreshing swim in this pool. And then we hiked the 300 meters up to our bikes. Between Avola and Pozzallo, we also went to the beach to swim. We were the only guests at the campsite near Pozzallo. And this is how we continued towards Marina di Ragusa. This beach isn't just beautiful. No, you can also ride a bike on it. After more than 80 kilometers the day before, the almost 40 kilometers today were very relaxing. There were beautiful sand castles in Marina di Ragusa, but we were more interested in Ragusa Ibla. We took the bus to go there and spent a day in this beautiful old town. From Marina di Ragusa, we went on the country road, past many cacti and seemingly endless rows of greenhouses. Then we took this closed road. Why is it actually closed? It looks great, and up there you can already see how the road leads into the next town. But suddenly this road ends in sand. No matter. The only thing missing here is a bridge, and we don't want to turn around because of that. Always ready for a micro-adventure, we look for and find a reasonably suitable place to push our bikes through the water. Then we walk a little further through the sand along the beach and we reach the next paved road. On the rest of the way to Licata, we enjoy the drive along the coast. Already before breakfast, we go swimming with the rising sun. First swim, have breakfast, take down the tent, and then we drive from Licata to Agrigento. There we visit the Valley of the Temples. Unfortunately, drones are expressly forbidden here, but photos from the ground can also be quite nice. Just a few kilometers west of Agrigento, we come to the Scala dei Turchi. From Grande, we first take the expressway to Schiaccia. Close to Schiaccia, we visit the museum of an artist who spent his life making heads out of stones. Occasionally, the route goes directly along the coast and then we go down to the port of Schiaccia, where we have lunch. In the afternoon we drive mainly on country roads and even have a little time to swim in the early evening. So get into the water quickly. There are beautiful stretches of coast from Portopalo to just before Marsala. But unfortunately, this catastrophe also occurs, like almost everywhere in Sicily. Today, we only have a very short stage of about 22 kilometers ahead of us, but we also want to see the port, the old town and the salt pans of Marsala. So first we go to the harbor. Then to the old town. Then quickly to Saline, Genna, north of Marsala. After that, we go on this perfect bike path to the campsite at Mama Colette. And here we build our house. The next morning we continue for a short distance on that perfect bike path. When it ends, we continue along the shore to watch the surfers. After the surfers, we pass more salt pans. And then we reach Trapani. Here we first take care of the tickets for the ferry to Favignana. No problem. After we found the right counter, we got tickets for the next trip in the afternoon. After about 40 minutes of sailing, we arrived in the port of Favignana. We stay on Favignana for 2 nights and explore the island by bike. On our tour, we feel like we drive through pretty much all the roads and paths that there are on this island. Unfortunately, you can't drive along the northern east coast, so a real round trip wasn't possible. So we drive back part of the route. We start our return trip to Trapani early because we have tickets for the first ferry at 8:30 a.m. In Trapani, we have a quick coffee before we continue towards San Vito lo Capo. The first half of today's route goes along this beautiful coast. At Custonaci, we unfortunately have to leave the coast and the cycle path and drive the rest of the way on the country road to San Vito lo Capo. Since bicycles can't go any further here, we'll cycle back part of yesterday's route the next day. Shortly before Castellammare del Golfo, our destination for the day, we come to a rest area with this view. So let's go down to this port and start the drone. Today we drive almost 70 kilometers along the steep northern coast of Sicily to Palermo. We keep stopping to enjoy the view. Strengthened in this way, we reach Palermo. In the evening we walk through the old town and look at many of the sites illuminated in golden light. The next morning I went to the barber. I think he did a really good job. Quickly go to the fish market and to the market. And then we take the bus to the mountains above Palermo to Monreale. There we visited the monastery with its magnificent cloister. Of course, we also look at the cathedral. Back in Palermo, we go to the Teatro Massimo and the Quattro Canti. Palermo is definitely worth a sticker of us. We continue along the beautiful and steep northern coast of Sicily to Cefalu. Despite all the beauty of this coast, there is unfortunately a huge problem here too. The people here abuse their beautiful landscape as a garbage dump. We come to Cefalu and stay for 2 nights. It's end of October, but the city beach here is still busy. Then we continue by train to Barcelona and from there by bike to Villafranca Tirrena. We take a break at Spadafora and discover this interesting stretch of beach. November 1st is also All Saints' Day in Sicily, a public holiday, and there were so many racing cyclists on the road that you would have thought it was Racing Bike Day. They are simply faster than we with our luggage. But unfortunately, one of them was probably too fast. And then we see mainland Italy in front of us. Soon we arrive at Capo Peloro. You can't spit over from here, and it's more than a stone's throw or a cat's jump away, but it's only about 3 kilometers to the mainland. On this day, we go a little further along the coast to our hotel in Tremestieri. From Tremestieri we continue towards Taormina. Sometimes on the sidewalk, sometimes on the country road. There's even a little time left for a quick swim along the way. At the end of the day, we go 200 meters up to Taormina. We stay here for 2 days. On the first day, we do a day trip on bikes without luggage from Taormina to the Alcantara Gorge. Actually a very nice route that leads over country roads and also dirt roads. But unfortunately, we also see the garbage dumps that are common in Sicily on the way. Once we arrive at the gorge, we climb down a staircase and explore the gorge on foot in the ice-cold water. The walls of the gorge are made of lava rock, which solidified into this columnar lava through rapid cooling in water. On the way back, we discover a nice viewpoint and look at Isola Bella from there. The next morning, we first go to the Roman amphitheater. The weather is wonderful and exceptionally entry is free today. We enjoy the view across the sea to the mainland and also towards Etna, whose peaks are covered with snow since last night. We also look up to Castello di Mola because that's where we're going next. However, this time we take the bus and leave the bikes at the hotel. From up here, the view is even more beautiful and the place also has its charm. Taormina is definitely worth a sticker for us. Today is our last day of cycling in Sicily. We drive from Taormina along the foot of Mount Etna to Catania, the beginning and end of our tour around Sicily. It was a really great and entertaining cycling trip. The weather and temperatures in October and November were very pleasant. The Sicilian car drivers were very considerate. We could camp anytime and anywhere outside of the big cities. Unfortunately, due to the season, it got dark very early in the evening. Sicily's landscape is beautiful and in many places even magnificent. And the food was simply awesome. But this also has to be said. We didn't like the rubbish lying around everywhere. After almost 60 kilometers we reach Catania and the holiday apartment which we already knew from the beginning of the trip in the early afternoon. The next day we look around the city and the harbor and prepare everything for the flight home. And one day later we take off, look forward to being home and look at Catania and also Mount Etna from above.